Hey there, my name is Allie Ernest. I'm a science fiction and fantasy author. Welcome back to my channel where I'm documenting my author journey and sharing any tips and tricks and things I've learned along the way that might help you out on your own journey. Today's video is a little bit different because it's not really a tip or even an author journey thing. It's just my to-be read list for the fall and winter of 2020. However, it does go into writing tips because I feel like if you don't read, you can't really write well. It's not always the case, but to be a good writer, it helps if you just read a lot and you understand how story works. That's a lot of why I think reading a lot really helps you. And also just writing style also is helped by just reading so many very different writing styles and genres and so on and so forth. I wanted to share with you my giant TBR pile. I understand I probably won't get to all of them just because that's just how it works, but it's fine. I also have a few rereads that I haven't reread in a while I wanted to bring up because I just was itching to read them. So I'm kind of a mood reader a lot of times, so you know what, I might pick up something else besides what I show in my video today, but it's cool. There's a couple books on here I actually don't have physical copies of because they aren't out yet. So the first book on my list is a reread because it's one of my absolute favorites, and it is Sarah Dessen's What Happened to Goodbye. Sorry about the glare. What Happened to Goodbye. I like a lot of her books, and I haven't read some of the most recent ones, so maybe they're even better, but I just really connected with the main character because her backstory is very similar to mine, and so I just kind of felt like everything that was going on in the book, I was like, oh my stars, this is me, and I just really connected with the main character. And I'm really looking forward to reread because it's been a couple years. It's probably been 3 or 4 years since I've actually reread it. It'll probably be number 3 or 4, I think, as a reread. So I'm excited about that one. Another one is a reread as well, and I've talked about this one on the channel. I think there's a gnat or something. I don't know what's flying around. Maybe it's dust, I don't know. Anyway, I have talked about this one so much on this channel, and I never remember the author, and so you might know who I'm talking about. Which one? It is Cleopatra's Moon by Vicky Alvier Schechter. I love this one. I haven't read it in so long, I will say. It has been quite a while. So this will probably be my second read through. I don't think I've reread it ever, actually. But I love historical fiction. Usually I gravitate toward more World War II-esque era historical fiction, which one of the TBRs on my pile is from there. But this one is ancient history. I also love ancient history, especially like ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, and this actually is both of them in one. So I'm really excited about this one. It's about Cleopatra's daughter, her only daughter, and the aftermath of her mother, Cleopatra, and Mark Antony's deaths. So it is really good. I highly suggest it, like I do just about every video I mention it in. So good. So those are my rereads. So the other ones I will mention that aren't out yet, there's 3 of them that I am super stinking excited to read. One of them is, obviously you probably could have guessed it if you have been to my live streams or know anything about me, is Brandon Sanderson's Rhythm of War, which is the 4th installment in the Stormlight Archive. You guys, the cover one is just gorgeous. And I'm really excited. Shallan is one of my favorite characters. She's on the cover of this one, and I believe it's Adolin on the back, which is another one of my favorite characters. I have some thoughts about what might happen to Adolin, and I kind of, if you've watched Elliot Brooks' video about, I think it was the love triangles in the Stormlight Archive, you will know what I'm talking about, and I completely agree with that theory. I won't say anything here because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, and I kind of, I see it. But either way, I love Adolin, I love Shallan. Kaladin's one of my favorite character, and then Dalinar. I mean, like, all the characters are my favorite, let's be serious. I also like Yasna and Navani and Wit and Teft, and I just really like the Stormlight Archive, okay guys? I love it. So I'm super stoked to be reading the Stormlight Archive, the 4th one. So I actually recently got into Stormlight Archive when, not even recently, it's been 3 years now. The 3rd book actually came out, and I was like, oh, I have the 1st book on my shelf. I haven't read it yet. And my brother-in-law was like, yeah, they're really good, because I'd already read Mistborn, and I love Mistborn. He's like, no, you should read it. I'm like, okay, I'll read it. Well, like, I don't know why I didn't read it earlier, because it's one of my favorite series of all time now. Words of Radiance is my favorite in the series thus far. So I am super pumped to be reading Rhythm of War at the end of November. Another one, I think it also comes out end of November, which would be The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I'm still not over the ending of the last one, so of the Dragon Republic. I love this series so much, and I didn't know if I was gonna like it because I heard a lot. It is a dark, the Poppy War, the first one in the series, is really dark, like really, really dark. And people told me that. I didn't realize how dark it was. It's real dark, but I've gotten attached to the characters, and I'm really excited to see what happens in The Burning God. I haven't read any spoilers or anything. I just know what the cover looks like, and that's it. I'm really excited about that one too. The last one would be A Nightwing by Renee Dugan. You can check out my review of Dawnstar, which is linked below. There was a lot happening in the Dawnstar, and at the end, it just I had to sit there for a few minutes and just like soak it all in, because I was like, oh my stars, like what I thought we weren't gonna get to till like book 7 happened in book 2, and I was like, oh my word, what else is gonna happen in the series? Now I'm like real nervous about it. And so the 3rd installment comes out soon this year. You can check over on her Instagram for updates on that. I'm really excited about it. I need to know what happens, because we kind of got left on this huge cliffhanger. So those are the 3 that I'm most looking forward to that have not been released yet. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Anyway, I'm going to move on with the other ones I do have physical copies of, but I have not read yet. They've just been on my shelf for a while, or maybe just a little bit, not too long. So the next one, like I said, I have multiple. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get to all these, because I'm not a super fast reader, but it's fine. Next one is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine. I've heard really good things about this one. This one is a World War II-esque historical fiction, and I had to do some research when I was teaching, and I was trying to find, we were doing Anne Frank, and I wanted to find an extra thing for the kids to read. And we picked several books, gave them a huge list, and this one I wanted to put on the list. So I didn't though, because of what the ending is. So I had to look up the ending because I wanted to make sure it was going to be appropriate for the kids, and I didn't because I was nervous about it. And I know what happens at the end, and I still want to read it so badly, and I have not read it yet. It's just been on my shelf. It's actually really new. I got it a couple months ago. Actually, a dog-eared page. Apparently I started it. That's new. Anyway, I don't know why I put it down, but it's fine. I'm excited about this one, and I really like World War II-esque stories, like I mentioned before, and most of them make me cry, which I'm okay with. This one's probably gonna make me cry. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. So the next one I actually got, this next one I actually got in a book box that was subscribed to for a little bit, and I love the book box. Definitely check out Fairy Loot. They are awesome. This is one of them in the book box, and I really want to read this one. Mostly every month there was one I had. Well, the book that they sent me, I was like, I want to read that. I want to read that one. I want to read that one. And so my TBR pile's just been piling high. But this is one of the ones I really wanted to read specifically. So I'm really excited about Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee here. Super excited about this one, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful book here. Next one is I actually got for Christmas last year, and I don't know why I didn't get to it. It was recommended, I think it was Daniel Green and his booktube video. I don't remember which booktube video it was. It might have been like his top 10 of the 2019 or something. I don't remember, but he suggested it, so I asked for it for Christmas, and I got it, and I have yet to touch it. Guys, it's been a year, 2020, let me tell you. But it is Never Die by Rob J. Hayes. I've heard this is phenomenal, and the cover I really liked a lot. I just thought it was really pretty, and it looks pretty good. I've been wanting to read this one as well. Then is one I've had on my shelf for a while. I remember I started, ooh, this came off. Well, see it, I'll take that off. Sorry, it's an autographed copy, but the sticker got all like messed up. I don't know. It's still autographed, so I don't really care. Now it's left a gross. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So this one is one I've been dying to read. I started it and then something happened where I had to put it down, and then I just got too far behind and I couldn't remember what happened, and I want to go back to it, and it is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons, and it's really cool, like I said, because I got an autographed copy. Holla, look at that. It was just in the bookstore, so I know people do that, and that was really cool that I got to pick one up. But anyway, The Ruin of Kings, I have heard this one is phenomenal, and I think she might have even come out with the third one, or the third one's coming out soon. I'm still on number 1, but it's cool. I like big books, and I cannot lie, and this is the big book. Not as big as Brandon Sanderson's book, but I digress. Here we go. I grabbed The Crown of Embers by Ray Carson. Meant to grab The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. So this one is a definite reread, but it has been years since I actually read the first 2. I finished the first 2, I didn't finish the third one. I don't remember why I didn't finish the third one. But one of my friends, Megan Rianne, she actually loves this series, and she was talking about it on Instagram, and I was like, I still have that series on my shelf. I never finished it. So one of my goals is to at least read Girl of Fire and Thorns, and then maybe finish the series this year, or maybe finish it next year. I don't know. It depends on where it comes up in my TBR list of mood reading type deal. Next one is a kind of, this is second to last one. So I love the right era revelations. I absolutely adore them. They're on my favorite book list of all time by Michael J. Sullivan. I don't know where Robert came from. Sorry. But if you want a good high fantasy story that is easy to follow, it's also good. It's like a quick pace. And you like really cool characters, and they're funny, and you have good like brotherly type dynamic between the 2 characters, you should check out Theft of Swords, which is, it's up there. You can't see it. I'm not gonna grab it, but it's Theft of Swords. Orbit, I believe, actually bound it into like 2 books in 1, because he self-published all of them, I think, except for the last one. So there's technically 6 books in the series, but they combined it into an omnibus, that's the word, omnibus edition. And so Theft of Swords is what the first omnibus is actually called. I think the first actual book is called The Crown Conspiracy. Anyway, phenomenal. But he wrote all those, and he also has some side shoot stories that go with it. So this is part of the volume 1 of the Right Era Chronicles, which I have not read yet. It's The Crown Tower. So it's about the 2 main characters of Hadrian and Royce. And Hadrian he always makes my list of top favorite characters of all time. I love Hadrian so much. He is, like I said, he's one of my all-time favorite characters. He and Kaladin probably take the cake on favorite characters of all time. Shallan is up there as well from Stormlight, but I love it. Anyway, so this is a kind of a offshoot of the main series. I think it's a prequel, actually, if I remember correctly, and it's kind of how Hadrian and Royce actually get together as their duo. And like I said, I cannot recommend the series enough. It is one of my favorites. And last but not least, my tower just fell over because I have too many books. Last but not least is one I have had on my shelf for a while as well. I just haven't been in the mood to read it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. Actually, I take that back. I have heard one negative about it, but I still want to read it for myself and see if it's actually negative, if it's a negative for me. Oh, I just hit my camera. And it is The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. Like I said, I have heard some criticism of it in regards to like women's and how they treat women. I'm not sure. I just want to read it for myself, but I've heard the book is actually really phenomenal. Look how big it is. I told you I like big books. So I am excited to read this because it seems like I've heard it's an interesting, different sort of fantasy feel, and I'm real excited about it. But I have yet to start it because I got it a while ago, probably several months ago. And I've yet to open it, but it's fine. It's fine. Either way, tell me down below, what do you think of those books? Have you read any of them? Can you give me some insight?
No spoilers, though. No spoilers.
But I would like to know what's on your TBR. Do you have a TBR? Do you just kind of mood read like I usually do? But I decided I'm going to do a TBR list for fall and winter because why not? Because I'll be inside a lot because it's winter and it's cold. Anyway, well, I hope you guys have a good day. I will see you next time on my next video. And if you are a writer and you're watching this, I would love to see you on Tuesday, Thursday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I do some writing sprints for about 2 hours. I will be going on hiatus for the time being, but I will be back October 1st, 2020. I hope to see you there, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy writing, and for this one, happy reading.